Thank you, Mike. New this morning, fire erupted at a vacant restaurant just west of downtown overnight. Happened just after 11 p.m. in the 1200 block of South Brazos near South Laredo. Firefighters said they arrived to find the restaurant completely on fire. Crews had to stay in the defensive mode to fight the flames and keep it from spreading. The building is said to be a total loss. Now investigators are trying to figure out what started it. No injuries were reported. Several new developments this morning in the January 6th riot investigation. Records from the Trump White House have now been turned over to investigators.
And it seems many of them had been ripped up. ABC's Mona Karza-Abdi has the latest.
This morning, ABC News confirmed some documents from the Trump White House turned over to the committee investigating the January 6th attack were torn up and had to be taped back together. Politico first reported in 2018 that aides were often forced to tape up shredded documents due to Trump's habit of ripping up White House records. A statement from the National Archives seems to confirm that report, saying documents sent to the committee, quote, included paper records that had been torn up by former President Trump. It comes as another person close to the Trump administration cooperates with the January 6th investigation. Former Vice President Mike Pence's chief of staff, Mark Short, has now testified before the committee. The news coming just hours after former President Trump admitted he wanted Pence to, quote, overturn the election on January 6th by throwing out some electoral votes.
That's clearly not what the Constitution provides for. He must be kidding.
At a rally in Texas over the weekend, Trump also suggested he would pardon the January 6 rioters if he were back in the White House.
If it requires pardons, we will give them pardons because they are being treated so unfairly.
Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney responding, tweeting, quote, Trump uses language he knows caused the January 6 violence, suggests he'd pardon the January 6 defendants, and admits he was attempting to overturn the election. He'll do it again if given the chance. And this morning, the New York Times reports Trump was more directly involved than previously known in plans to seize voting machines after the election. The plans were conceived by his advisors to get the Justice Department and other agencies to seize the machines to look for fraud. Mona Karza-Abdi, ABC News, New York.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Russia's foreign minister are set to talk today as the diplomatic dance over the Ukraine crisis heats up. Things were anything but diplomatic on Monday as the U.S. and Russia attacked each other over the crisis in a diplomatic brawl at the UN Security Council meeting. The U.S., backed by Western allies, accused Russia of endangering peace and destabilizing global security by amassing more than 100,000 troops on Ukraine's borders. Moscow dismissed the accusations, calling them baseless and hysterical U.S. fear-mongering. Amid the tensions, the State Department has ordered the Department of Families of Americans, the departure of the families of American diplomats in Belarus, where Russia is deploying troops, tanks, and other materiel in what Moscow says is simply a military exercise.
FBI Director Christopher Wray says the threat to the West from the Chinese government is more brazen and damaging than ever. The speech amounted to a stinging rebuke of the Chinese government just days before Beijing is set to occupy the global stage by hosting the Winter Olympics. In the speech, Wray accused Beijing of stealing American ideas and innovation and launching massive hacking operations. It made clear that even as American foreign policy remains consumed by Russia-Ukraine tensions, the U.S. continues to regard China as its biggest threat to long-term economic security.
New York Times has acquired the explosively popular word game Wordle. Wordle has quickly become a cultural phenomenon. It gives players 6 chances to guess a 5-letter word each day. The Times purchased the game for a price it describes as in the low 7 figures. The game released in October 2021 by Josh Wardle, a Brooklyn-based software engineer. He's working with the Times to ensure that existing players' wins and streaks are preserved once the game moves to the paper's site. The Times says it does not have any set plans for the game's future yet, but it says it will initially remain free to new and existing players.
Have you gotten on Wordle yet?
I have.
Okay, yeah. How do you like it?
The one time I played it, it was a blast.
Is it as addicting as people say it is?
I'm not a good person to ask that because I don't think so.
Okay.
But clearly, as you know, if it's being described as a cultural phenomenon, it's taken off with quite a few people.
I'm gonna have to dip into it.
Yeah. Something to do during commercial breaks.
Okay.
All right. So 4:38, 56 degrees, and if you know the word of the day, let me know.
Okay.